Welcome to episode 52 of G. Halloran's Beer Reviews. This afternoon I will be reviewing Tui from New Zealand. So this one here is I'm pretty excited about this actually. Had a friend recommend that I review it. I have had it before, but it's been a little while. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. As you can see, it's a great looking bottle with an awesome label. It's really inviting in that sense of the word, but we'll see what it's actually like inside, hey? So for Tui, it's an East India Pale Ale, so an IPA. It comes in a 330 milliliter bottle at 4% alcohol by volume, so it's actually a little bit lower than some of the other IPAs, but it does have a fairly good reputation. So yeah, it's got a bit of a story here on the back, but I won't go through that. But anyway, yeah, as I said, it's brewed in New Zealand, so I'm looking forward to this. So without further delay, let's crack this open. Okay, got the Fiji bitter glass chilled up. It's definitely darker than I expected. I can see that already. Okay. Oh, I can smell that. It's got a good smell to it. That's for sure. Okay, as for the appearance, yeah, it's a dark sort of rusty colour. Yeah, it's definitely darker than a golden colour you'd expect of a lager. It's got a rusty sort of a colour. It's a light rusty colour. You can see your fingers through it, but yes, it definitely is dark. As for the smell, straight up I'm getting the fruity hoppiness smell, which is really smells really good actually. The fruits smell sort of a hint of dark fruits actually in this, even though it's not I don't know if it would have too many of them, but seeing the colour as well, it can smell like mixed dark fruits. So it's a blend of a dark fruity smell. Yeah, that's quite pronounced. I'm getting the hops coming through as well, and definitely the malts as well. It's very malty. Okay, without further delay, let's give this a go. Cheers. For ale, it's quite light in the mouth, but I expected that. 4% alcohol by volume, and it's not marketed as a heavy ale, and it is an IPA, which definitely lighter than standard ales. But yeah, it's got a very nice malty sweetness. Then it comes across with the bitterness afterwards. But the bitterness isn't extremely strong. I've had IPAs that are much, or Indian pale ales that are much more bitter. This isn't that bitter. I'll give it another go. Yeah, it's quite light in its taste. I've had Indian pale ales or IPAs that are very strong. They'll as soon as you take a sip, they'll knock your socks off. But with this one, it's definitely not like that. But it has quite a nice flavour. It's got a really nice sweet malty flavour. But the bitterness is probably on the lesser side for an IPA. Any other type of beer, yeah, you'd expect this type of bitterness. If anything, I'd probably say it's bittered more like a lager than an IPA. If that makes sense, a bit around that level. It definitely doesn't have that strong bitterness of a traditional IPA. Well, when I say this isn't traditional, but you know what I'm talking about, us beer lovers, IPAs have some, strong bitterness. You've got to really like your beer in bitter taste, if otherwise it won't be a flavour. But this one, in saying that, I think it is definitely marketed and brewed at the more mass market, um, and not to make it cheap in that sense, but I think it's marketed that it would be enjoyed by more people, because I know for myself and other beer drinkers that a lot of people turn away from IPAs that aren't beer drinkers or not frequent beer drinkers, because the bitterness just is too much for them. But and the hop flavour as well, so that all mixed together. But for this one, it is actually quite pleasant. At 4% alcohol by volume, it's got a lot of flavour. I didn't think it would have this much, even though it is on the lesser side in the bitterness aspects. But I'll just give it one more sip and I'll give it a score. As you can see, the colour is really good. And the taste is quite. It's got a nice, fruity, malty taste. Yeah, it's not bland by any means. You think it'd be thin and watery. Um, these type of mass market beers, but it's definitely not. And the price is quite good too. I picked it up at a reasonable price. So, Tui from New Zealand, what would I give it? Considering we'll have to take in what it is marketed at and what it's trying to be. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I think it is very good for what it's trying to be. It hits that mark. It's not portraying itself as a ultimate premium beer. It's more of a run of the mill beer, but it's for what it does it well. So 8 out of 10 for Tui. I just love saying that word, Tui. Thanks for watching the G Halo beer review, and I'll see you the next one. Cheers.